Have you ever noticed something strange? The more you try to prove your worth to him, the more he pulls away. But the moment you stop trying so hard, he leans in, he watches you closer, he starts to chase. And you sit there wondering, why now? Why does he start caring when you stop trying to impress him? Let's be honest, you gave him your best, you showed up, you tried. You smiled through the silence, stayed through the doubts, and gave pieces of yourself hoping he would see your heart. But he didn't. He didn't choose you. He didn't chase you. And now you're tired. You're tired of shrinking your soul just to be seen. You're tired of trying to prove to a man that you are enough. But let me tell you something. He was never blind. He was just too comfortable. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And right now, you might be suffering, thinking you weren't good enough. But the truth is, the moment you stop chasing, stop impressing, and just be, that's when everything changes. Because he doesn't chase the woman who tries to win him. He chases the woman who has already won herself. Imagine a flame, one that flickers gently, quietly, not demanding attention, but pulling it in anyway. She doesn't scream to be noticed, but he can't look away. That's the kind of presence you were born to carry. That's the kind of woman who lives in silence but speaks with her energy. She doesn't chase love. She is love. In relationships, a man will test a woman without even realizing it. He'll see how far she bends, how much she'll give, how deep she'll sink just to stay. But the woman who stops trying to impress, she passes the test without lifting a finger, because she knows her place is not beside a man who only sees her value when she begs for it. And this is the moment, your moment, not to break, but to become. No more explaining, no more shrinking, no more reaching. This is where you begin to live like a queen who doesn't beg, a queen who doesn't try to be chosen, a queen who already is. And once you become her, he will chase, because real power doesn't impress, it attracts. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of the strength you've been carrying all along, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you powerful, healing, and honest content that speaks to your heart, lifts your spirit, and reminds you of the queen you've always been becoming. Your support means everything. Number 1. The moment you stop trying, he starts obsessing. Have you ever noticed how he starts paying attention the moment you stop chasing his? You were showing up, giving, smiling, hoping. You were trying to be enough for a man who didn't even know what to do with the love you gave so freely. And then something inside you shifted. You stopped texting first. You stopped showing up uninvited. You stopped trying so hard. And suddenly, he noticed. Now he's watching. Now he's wondering. Now he's chasing what he once ignored. Why? Because he never respected the effort. He only feared the silence. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And you've wasted enough time trying to be seen by someone who should have seen you from the start. But the woman who stops trying to impress becomes a mystery. She stops performing and suddenly he starts craving the show. Not because she changed for him, but because she stopped changing herself for anyone. Think of a garden, one that blooms wildly, naturally, untouched. The kind of garden people stop to admire because it wasn't planted for applause. It was planted in confidence. That's the woman he chases, not the one who waters her worth based on his attention, but the one who knows she is already enough. In a relationship, when you stop trying to prove you deserve him, that's when he starts proving he deserves you. Because nothing wakes a man up like the quiet of a woman who no longer waits for his validation. The woman who tries too hard becomes forgettable. But the woman who lets go, she becomes unforgettable. And that's who you're becoming now, not because he asked for it, but because you're done asking for less than you deserve. Beautiful woman, this is your shift. The world doesn't need another woman begging to be chosen. It needs more women who choose themselves first. And now, it's time to live like that. Like a queen. Because you were never meant to perform. You were meant to reign. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence will be his loudest lesson. Queens, if this spoke to your heart, like the video and subscribe. We're working hard to bring you powerful, life-changing lessons because you were never meant to chase. You were born to lead. Number 2. He doesn't miss the woman who tried. He misses the one who vanished without a word. Have you ever noticed how he doesn't look back when you're the one trying, calling, explaining? But the moment you fall silent, completely silent, he starts to feel it. Not right away. No, not when you wanted him to, but later, when you've already let go. That's when he looks around, confused by the emptiness, haunted by the quiet. He doesn't miss the woman who begged for love. He misses the one who gave it freely and then walked away without warning. A man never forgets the woman who simply stopped showing up. Not because she didn't care, but because she finally started caring for herself. He expected your texts. He expected your voice. He expected your patience. And when you gave all of it, he felt powerful. He thought he could leave and come back whenever he wanted. But the woman who disappears with dignity, she's the one who never leaves his mind. Because silence isn't weakness. It's a message louder than any goodbye could ever be. Think of a sunset. It doesn't scream. It doesn't beg anyone to stay and watch. It simply fades, gracefully, beautifully, and yet it leaves everyone staring, wishing it had stayed just a little longer. That's you. He didn't realize your worth when you tried, but now he replays every memory, every laugh, every moment, wishing he had held on. He misses the calm you brought, the warmth, the way your presence felt like peace. And now he sits in silence, aching for what he once ignored. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who caused the pain. And that's exactly what you did. You didn't argue. You didn't chase. You just vanished. And now your absence screams in the places your presence once filled. That is the kind of woman who cannot be replaced. That is the kind of woman he will chase long after she's moved on. But this is no longer about him. This is about you, about stepping into your power, about living as the woman who no longer proves anything to anyone. This is where you stop trying and start reigning. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My silence is unforgettable. We are working hard to bring you life-changing truths that help you rise, love smarter, and never settle again. Number 3. The less you reach for him, the more he reaches for you. Have you ever noticed how he pulls away when you give your all, but runs after you the moment you stop? How the woman who bends over backwards is often left waiting, while the one who holds her ground becomes the one he can't stop thinking about. It hurts. It makes no sense, but it's real. He doesn't chase the woman who tries to impress him. He chases the one who doesn't try at all. You poured your heart out. You answered every message fast. You tried to be perfect. You were soft when you should have been strong. You made him your priority, hoping he'd do the same. But what did he do? He backed away. He looked elsewhere. He stopped trying. And now you're tired. Tired of proving yourself to a man who only notices you when you're silent. And here's the truth. He was never attracted to your effort. He was drawn to your energy, your mystery, your power when you stopped handing it over. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life." When you stop reaching for him, you take your freedom back. And when a woman becomes free from needing his attention, she becomes the kind of woman who has it without asking. Imagine a flame, A small fire doesn't chase the air, it simply burns. But the stronger it grows, the more it pulls everything around it. That's who you become when you stop chasing. You don't need to prove you're worthy. You already are. And when he realizes you're no longer reaching for him, he'll feel something he didn't expect: loss. In relationships, the woman who holds herself with quiet confidence becomes unforgettable. Not because she impressed him, but because she stopped needing to. And now he's watching, wondering, wanting, because the less you reach for him, the more he realizes how far he's already lost you. But this is not about him anymore. This is about you. This is about becoming the kind of woman who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't lower herself to be seen. This is about stepping into your quiet power, the power of a woman who knows who she is. Queens, your moment is now. Not to wait, not to wish, but to rise. Let the silence speak. Let the distance grow. Let him feel the weight of what he no longer has access to. Write this in the comments and claim it. The less I reach, the more he remembers. If this spoke to your soul, if it reminded you of the woman you're becoming, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working day and night to bring you powerful, life-changing lessons, because your reign has already begun. Number 4. He forgot the one who pleaded, but he can't forget the one who didn't flinch. Have you ever noticed how quickly he forgets the woman who gave everything just to be seen? The one who called, who waited, who softened herself in hopes that he would stay. But the one who walked away without looking back. The one who didn't flinch, didn't beg, didn't try to prove her worth. That's the one he can't stop remembering. It's strange, isn't it? You gave him your all. You lowered your voice so he could speak louder. You dimmed your light just so he would feel more important. You stood by his side even when he made you feel like an option. But still, he didn't choose you. He walked away as if your love had no weight. And now? Now, he can't stop thinking about the woman who never begged, because strength is unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Dwell on the beauty of strength." And there is nothing more beautiful than the moment a woman decides she's done chasing a man who never saw her. The woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls away is the one who haunts his memory. Why? Because her silence became louder than any words. Her stillness became a storm he never saw coming. Think of a mountain, unshaken, unmoved, standing tall in every season. That is what he sees now when he thinks of you, not the woman who pleaded, but the one who stayed calm when he walked away. And now, no matter who he holds, he will keep comparing. Because no one feels like you. No one carries that quiet power. No one makes him feel small the way your grace did. He expected you to break. He expected you to cry, to beg, to prove something. But instead, you smiled. You let go. You stood still while he lost his balance. And that is why he will never forget you. Now, lovely woman, it's time to rise, not as the one who tried, but as the one who reigns. This is not about what he thinks. This is about who you've become. And queens do not flinch. Queens do not chase. Queens remember who they are. Affirm this right now in the comments. I do not flinch. I walk away with power. Write it, own it, live it. And if this message reminded you of your fire, if it stirred something deep inside you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're here for you, creating content that helps you heal, rise, and reign like the queen you were always meant to be. Number 5. A woman who doesn't try to impress becomes the standard he can't match again. Why is it that the woman who gives the most often gets left behind, while the one who never even tried to impress becomes unforgettable? Why does he chase her after she walked away without looking back? It's not because she played a game, it's because she never had to. She didn't try to fit into his world. She was too busy building her own. He thought she would compete. He thought she would beg for attention, for validation, for love. But she didn't. She stood in her silence. And that silence, that's what shook him. Because when a woman doesn't try to impress, she becomes a mystery. One he can't solve, one he can't replace, one he can't forget. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be indifferent to what makes no difference." And she lived that truth. She never chased approval. She didn't mold herself to fit into his empty spaces. She let him go, and in doing so, she became the standard he couldn't meet again. Imagine a diamond buried in stone. It never sparkles in desperation. It doesn't shout to be seen. But when the light hits it just right, its brilliance blinds everything around it. That's the kind of woman she is. Not loud, not desperate, just quietly powerful. And now, every woman after her is compared to a light he can no longer touch. In relationships, he remembers the woman who stopped giving when he stopped deserving. He forgets the one who tried too hard, but he carries the one who made him wonder, how did I let her go? And that wonder becomes regret. That regret becomes obsession. But you, yes, you, don't have to break just because he couldn't see your value the first time. You don't have to prove anything. This is where you begin to live like a queen. A queen who knows she is not here to impress. She is here to be unforgettable. So write this in the comments and claim it. I don't impress. I leave a mark he'll never match. Say it, feel it, live it, queens. We are working hard to bring you real, life-changing truths that help you rise. Because your reign doesn't begin with approval. It begins with you. Number 6. When you pull back, he falls harder. Isn't it strange how he only starts to notice you when you finally stop trying? When you were pouring out your heart, showing up, giving him all of you, he barely blinked. But now that you've pulled back, now that your energy has gone quiet, he's suddenly interested. He starts watching, he starts wondering. That's not a coincidence. That's the truth he didn't expect to face. You see, he got used to your presence. He counted on your attention. He thought you would always try to win him. But the moment you stopped reaching for him, something shifted. That silence. It hit him harder than any words ever could. When you stopped trying to impress him, you became the mirror he never wanted to look into, because it showed him what he lost. There's a quote that says, "Sometimes distance teaches what closeness couldn't," and that's exactly what happens when you pull back. In love, too much chasing makes a man feel safe enough to take you for granted. But when you walk away with grace and no drama, you create a space that makes him feel something he can't ignore, the fear of losing what he never truly appreciated. Think of a garden. You watered it daily, cared for it, stayed loyal to it. But it didn't grow, not because of you, but because the soil wasn't ready. So one day, you stop, you walk away, and only then does the soil start to thirst for what it lost. That's what happens when a woman stops pouring into a man who didn't know how to receive her love. But this isn't just about making him miss you. This is about remembering who you are. You are not a shadow waiting to be noticed. You are not a song playing in the background of his life. You are the entire melody. And now it's time you start living like it. Not to get his attention, but because you finally understand your worth. This is where your story shifts, not for him, but for you. So rise, beautiful woman. Let him fall while you fly. He didn't value your closeness. Now let him drown in the silence you left behind. Affirmation: the less I give, the more he regrets. Queens, write this in the comments and claim your power right now. We're working hard to bring you life-changing lessons to help you rise, reign, and never forget who you are becoming. Number 7. She let go without a scene, and that's the scene he replays forever. She didn't scream, she didn't fight, she didn't leave behind a storm, she just let go, quietly, calmly, and that's what haunts him the most. Not the arguments, not the tears, but the stillness. The way she walked away without asking for closure. The way she disappeared without needing his explanation. He expected drama. He expected begging. He expected to be chased. But she gave him nothing except silence. And now that silence follows him everywhere. He told himself she would reach out. He thought she would come back, try harder, prove herself one last time. But she didn't. And now, every quiet night, every still moment, he plays it all back. The things he took for granted, the love he didn't fight for, the woman he thought would never leave. She became the one he can't stop remembering. Rumi once said, "Don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure." And that's what happened the moment she stopped trying. Her pain turned into power, the kind of power that doesn't need an audience. She didn't post about it. She didn't explain herself. She just rose. Think of a rose that blooms in the middle of the desert. No spotlight, no crowd, just beauty existing on its own. That's her. The one who didn't try to impress him. The one who didn't try to win him. The one who stopped reaching and instead started becoming. Because in relationships, a man never forgets the woman who chose herself. The one who didn't break when he left. The one who didn't fight to stay in a place where she was only tolerated. That's the woman who lingers in his memory. The one who got away, not because she vanished, but because she evolved. Dear lady, you were not made to perform for love. You were made to receive it in your truth, not in your silence. And now is your moment, not to chase, not to impress, but to rule. Write this in the comments and claim it. I left with grace, and that's what he'll never forget. Queens, let your silence speak. Let your power grow. And if this message stirred something deep inside you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard to bring you real, healing, life-changing lessons. Because queens don't wait to be remembered. Queens reign.